It's super important that in a digital or data-driven tech business, you need to have a platform approach. You bring the robustness, you bring the reusability, you bring the SaaS experience, you bring a significant gross margins north of 80%. So build a center of excellence called as digital center of excellence, bringing the right folks from externally as well as from the internally to build the people, not just the technologists, but also including the domain experts, the data scientists.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, the podcast series brought to you by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I'm Tanayol, and today we have the incredible privilege of speaking with a true pioneer in the world of technology and digital transformation. Our guest today is a seasoned global techno business leader with over 3 decades of experience driving groundbreaking digital innovations across industries. From OT automation to AI, cloud computing, and blockchain, his career has been marked by exceptional leadership and visionary strategies that have shaped some of the most iconic brands in the tech world. He has played pivotal roles at industry giants such as Siemens, Oracle, eBay, PayPal, and ABB, where he currently serves as the Global Chief Digital Officer. He's not just a business leader, he's a thinker, a strategist, and an advocate for the power of technology in transforming industries. His journey reflects a relentless pursuit of excellence, driving significant business growth and digital transformation across multiple domains. Please join me in welcoming Rajesh Ramachandran, sir, to FaceTime with Leaders. Sir, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Same here.
Your career spans an impressive range of transformative roles at industry giants such as Siemens, Oracle, and now ABB. With such a remarkable trajectory, it's clear that you've played a pivotal role in shaping digital and innovation. To start our conversation today, could you take us back to the early stages of your career? Like, what was the defining moment or experience that first sparked your interest in technology and set you on the path of leading digital transformations?
Yeah, absolutely, sure. See, one of the things possibly it came from my earlyhood days are always looking what is behind, whichever we use it. When I started my career after my engineering with Siemens, it was in the Siemens Global R&D Center of looking at how the machines can talk to each other. How do you automate the protocols to connect each other on the data on the plant systems? So it's not about just working on a specific module, that's a memory management model for a PLC controller. I was always thinking about what's going to happen next, what's inside. The approach of always start from the middle, but also look at what is going to be the way it's going to be consumed, as well as what's the way it's going to work inside. I think that kind of inquisitiveness has always been there in my
Okay.
career. And the years with Siemens was fundamentally about how do you make the automation work with software and the plant systems. And I always wanted to look at how do you see the next big thing wave in the technology
Yeah.
and be yourself ready for making the difference, right? So around the time of early 90s or late 90s after my engineering, I thought the world is going towards internet, right?
Yeah.
And the right place to be is an organization which is really innovating on internet on data platforms. That's Oracle.
Yeah.
That's how I moved my next move to the Oracle, because the thing that I realized is if you want to make a big value on data and information, it has to be at an enterprise level,
Yeah.
not just on silos. That's possibly one moment I thought that it's very important for us to be in an organization that's potentially going to bring value across the different industries. And I chose Oracle. That has been a fantastic choice. In fact, I grew as a strong technology leader in
Yeah.
Oracle for building some of the world's best technologies and middleware technologies there. Of course, then the moment came on, okay, what is next? It's about data. That's the
Yeah.
time the whole e-commerce came in, the online e-commerce world came in. How do you bring the data, value of data together? And I had a great opportunity for working with eBay and PayPal for building the data platforms, building e-commerce platforms. You can't go any other place than e-commerce for really working on big data analytics, right? That was a beautiful moment of not only building platforms, but also building organizations. I have to thank all the organizations I worked for, both helping me to bring the value of both transformation on the organization, technology, as well as business, right? Starting from somewhere at 2008, I've been always in the world of digital, right? How do you bring the data, the technology, the domain expertise, as well as the AI together? And that's what is digital.
Yeah.
And I guess that from there, I came back on looking at how do you apply this digital for industries? And that is where built also a business. I'm with ABB today for serving many customers. One of the really inspiring moments for me is that I learned myself that I'm more than a technology leader.
Yeah.
This happened way back when I was in Oracle around 2008, that I was able to even carve out a new revenue stream of business along with the technologies. I think that's fundamentally where I transformed from a typical technology leader to a business leader. And I would say that some moment also made me a digital transformation leader, because digital is about combining the business and technology innovations
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
That's where I am today.
Lovely, sir. I think the your want to grow and finding what's next is excellent because that's what keeps you a little ahead and updated with whatever's coming into the market, right?
Absolutely. If I had to just give another moment of 2010 is a time where exactly people talked about what is OT and IT integration. Fundamentally
Correct.
about how do you bring the data from the plants and
Hmm.
operations to the enterprise data, because
Correct.
typically they're all siloed. And the first research paper was written by me and Gartner way back in 2010 in terms of looking at what is called as OT IT convergence, and that's fundamental for digital. And today, my doctorate is on industrial AI. In fact, the definition of industrial AI way back and 6 years back was also something as an interesting moment, where I define industrial AI as a combination of data driven and ensembling the domain knowledge, not on paper, making it real.
Yeah.
And maybe just to end with, last year, along with Microsoft in ABB, uh, we announced that we will bring the generative AI like ChatGPT capabilities into industrial world. And last week, you possibly would have seen that a lot of moments on Microsoft Ignite, as well as announcement of ABB bringing real value of generative AI for industries using Genix Copilot, which is one of the innovations of my organization led by me, has been making a significant difference on the industries.
Sir, you had the privilege of working with some of the most renowned names in the tech world, like from Siemens to Oracle and then eBay and PayPal. Each of these companies, I'm sure, operates in such different spaces with their own unique cultures and challenges. So, can you share with us the most significant transitions you had to navigate as you moved through these diverse industries, different companies, and what personal strategies did you have? What mindset were you in, sir, at that time, which allowed you to cope with all the changes?
Yeah, fantastic. Yep. As I said, one is basically the how the technologies are evolving. And other way is that what is the value that each organization brings it in the value chain. And each of these organizations are fantastic organizations. I'm proud of each of the organizations I served. And the transition really is about what is the role that I would like to play. Do I want to be a technology provider under the hood, or do I want to become a platform provider, or do I want to play a role of an application provider, or do I want to provide the entire solutions to customers and be with the CXOs of the organizations to make a digital transformation? So
Yeah.
if we see that the four major shifts that I had in the organization's landscape were towards that, right? First 10 years were really building myself as a very strong technology leader, like starting from even coding on a basic assembly language to building some of the world's best platforms. The second 10 years has been fundamentally building a business innovation along with the technology innovation. And I call this a product strategy as well as a business strategy, driving that. And the third 10 years is using that to build a strong business, an IP driven business, really a non-linear growth of significant growth, transforming even a complex organization, which are traditional organizations, to become software-centric organization and bringing higher profitability. But then also making an impact to our end customers. I love to sit with the end customers. Right? I love to sit with our customers. I sit also on advisory boards such as Microsoft Advisory Board, but also I sit with many of our customers as an executive sponsor to really see the value of digital and AI making a difference on the shop floor, on the plant, on the enterprise. So that's fundamentally the transition for me, that you really know how to build a technology from scratch, You can then evolve that as a value in terms of the business application and
Yes.
finally drive the business value out of it, right? So, and again, combining the data, technology, domain, and AI has been clearly a transition. And I'm really thankful about the way that I was able to nurture, as well as I have to thank a lot of people in the journey who have been supporting me as well as mentoring me to get this state.
Sir, and lovely what you said about like going to the customer and actually understanding what's happening, because that is so rooted and we're losing out that somewhere in today's digital age where everyone's reaching out to everybody probably online somewhere. But something like this of understanding your customer, meeting, sitting is still probably very valued and gives results, right, sir?
Absolutely, because if you look at the value of digital and AI, which is one of the key areas, the topmost focus area in any boardroom today, including for ABB. So you could really build a digitalization solutions by combining the data, domain, AI, and technology, but that's not going to get you the result. You really need to make that change management, business models, and value engineering. These three elements is what going to make a digital transformation. Fundamentally getting the dollars, right? Fundamentally getting the money and the value for the end customers and their end customers and so on. That happens only when you co-innovate with customers.
Yeah.
And I would say that I learn a lot when I work with customers, not just only sitting in the R&D lab. Because in my role, I start from a strategy to product management to R&D to the go-to-market to the customer experience as well as business, right? So looking at all this, I love to be with the customers to look at the focused innovation coming along with customers.
Yeah.
And that you also see a great amount of satisfaction when you see what you built is making a real difference in the shop floor, in
Yeah.
the customer's place.
So, leading a close to $1 billion digital software and services company at ABB is no small feat. Like, I can only imagine the level of vision, innovation, and leadership that it took to drive such an impactful transformation. So, we would like to know, me, all our viewers would definitely like to know some of the key strategies you implemented to elevate ABB's digital transformation efforts, and how did you ensure that these strategies align with the broader goals of the company?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. So, yeah, sure. I mean, it's my pleasure to talk about how did I could drive with my team on the whole digital transformation and also growing almost a 5x growth on the digital business since I joined 6 years back. A bit of ABB and how it's structured, and that is important for me also to navigate through is ABB is a global technology leader in electrification, automation, and digitalization for last 140 years. In fact, ABB is one of the very few companies which has pioneered in all the five industry revolutions. And we are there in more than 100 countries, and we have about 105,000 employees. And the way we structured is we have about 19 industrial facing divisions. And digital is actually worked on a hybrid model, meaning that we have something as a separate digital business, but also it is embedded into each of these divisions as well. When I joined ABB, the mandate for me is the process automation, which is one of the business areas of the four business areas of ABB, to define a digital strategy, but also as a digital platform across the ABB group. There are two different dimensions I need to tackle, right? I always use this framework of called as the value framework, which is it's called as value realization, value creation, and value maximization. Value realization is fundamentally looking at what is available today. Can we create something just to realize certain value, right? When I joined, I looked at there has been a lot of great work is happening on point solutions from ABB because ABB is a leader in automation throughout, right? For years together, we are number one. For digitalization, we are new. We have been doing in packets. We have been making good solutions. We have been able to manage our own hardwares and systems using the digital service, but we never had a vision clearly of building that as a business. And that was the case when I joined in 2019. The first thing I did was that with the team, of course, together, defining what is available, value realization. A lot of great innovations of packets of solutions were available across the different hubs to bring them in a structure. That's number one. Number two is you should move it from a point solution to a platform approach. It's super important that in a digital or data-driven tech business, you need to have a platform approach. You bring the robustness, you bring the reusability, you bring the SaaS experience, you bring a significant gross margins north of 80%. So build a center of excellence called as digital center of excellence, bringing the right folks from externally as well as from the internally to build the people, not just the technologists, but also including the domain experts, the data scientists, and the guys from the real industry leaders and technology architects together. This team, the Center of Excellence, which played a pivotal role of looking at what should be the platform, what should be the value pillars. The platform is about industrial IoT and AI platform, which is bringing the data to the value of what it can bring for the business. And the value pillars are how do you translate to that business outcomes to the customers? Example, asset performance management, sustainability, operational performance, cybersecurity, external automation. So bring all the 6 different value pillars. So that's about defining your platform strategy as well as your value pillar strategy. This actually was the first 6 months work of defining it. And of course, ingraining that across the organization. Right? Once that is done, I can tell you that then you have a runway, right? You can accelerate how do you want to go. It obviously needed a lot of transformation because you want to build things that were not available. And we made a conscious decision that we should build it organically with certain bolt-on. Because that was a mandate in the way that ABB was focusing on driving the profitability. And of course, I have to be say that we had digital as one of the top 3 priorities of the organization. So it was no brainer for me to be able to build this ground up with also bringing the enough visibility across. So with this value pillars, applications, as well as a platform approach, we were able to bring a significant difference between the way that we were positioning ourselves to the market. Genix, which is a platform which was innovated, which has helped on moving us from a point solution provider to a trusted partner on digital transformation. I can tell you that with bringing a competitive value of the technologies as well as our strong domain expertise, we are able to solve some of the most complex problems in the industries. We are serving more than 10 different industries, bringing our digitalization solutions across value pillars. And that has really helped us to move non-linear way, strong double-digit growth, and also ensuring that productization as well as the growth happens parallelly. And you can see that our digital products and platforms and applications are in the top leadership quadrants by many analysts. We have significant customers for using our digital solutions today, and it has grown 5 times where it started.
So, we're living in a time where the landscape of technology is evolving faster than ever, with industries increasingly embracing AI, IoT, and cloud computing. So, as someone who's been at the forefront of digital transformation, how do you see these powerful technologies converging in the coming years? And from your perspective, what are the biggest opportunities for business leaders to tap into this convergence, especially as it continues to reshape industries, customer experience so much?
Yeah, absolutely, sure. See, first of all, the AI is really reinventing the industries. I would put it as a tagline, and it's in different ways. Of course, I would be very cautious of saying responsible AI. We need to be using the responsible word very important because you can use AI disruptively, which may not be the right thing to use it
Absolutely.
anywhere, including the industries, because in industries, we are talking about safety as a topmost priority to come in first. But if I just take a step back on digital, as I've been always mentioning, digital is a combination of data, domain, AI, and technology. But digital helped us to really connect things first, right? You had a connected assets, connected operations, connected workers or connected people, connected processes, connected supply chain. And that got tons of data together for us. And of course, the data what you bring is not for just visualizing, but you want to use it for predicting and even optimizing it with digital twins. The first phase, I would say that we really focused on Industry 4.0 on how do you bring this together along with the analytical AI, which is nothing but machine learnings and deep learnings, to be able to see the patterns and predict and optimize. I think that was really going well. But the challenge with that is that we still struggled to take the value of those insights to the end mile, meaning that how do you take that to a maintenance engineer or plant operator or a planning engineer in the shop floor? it has been always a challenge because you don't expect them to come and look at some of the complex systems or applications. But what I'm thrilled about is the new generative AI, which is really filling that last mile gap. Today, combining the generative AI with our industrial analytical AI, it's really consumerizing the value of data to across the roles, starting from a shop floor engineers or field staff to functional executives to the CXOs to the board. Everybody is able to embrace the value of data by both new user experience, we call us new era of experience of making billions of better decisions.
Yeah.
It brings a completely different level of contextualization and collaboration. So what I mean is that with that, the power of AI, which is really amplifying the value of data and digitalization across the roles, which we started seeing that making a significant difference both in the value chain of ABBs internally, how we serve the customers, but also our offerings that we give it to our end customers who are using it. As an example, right? Using the generative AI with Ability Genix, which is our ABB's solution, we're able to increase the asset reliability by 20%. We are able to cut down the service calls coming for the customer support by more than 60%. We are able to bring the efficiency improvement for maintenance and operation by 30%. These are all possible when you apply AI at scale. It's not a package, right? And that's what we do in terms of bringing the industrial AI at scale for the use cases that makes a big difference through the value engineering. I see it's going to be a significant value for the industries. I mean, I always say that as we know that AI is not going to replace humans, but the people and organizations which are using AI will soon be replacing the ones which are not using it. So it's very important for us to use the AI responsibly and use it for the use cases that is going to make a significant difference in terms of user experience, efficiency, productivity, and reliability. And it's going to be imperative to use it across the value chain. And we see a significant value already across the use cases. So I would say that industries which already benefited with digitalization with the Industry 4.0 is going to be really taking a next leap with the AI on Industry 5.0, which is going to bring people-centric, but going to make a big difference on efficiency, reliability, and sustainability together. Because sustainability is today the license to operate, but you need to achieve that along with your efficiency and reliability as well, right? And I can keep going on, but I would say that many studies, as you see, that the people productivity, the collaboration and efficiency is going to be significantly improved by AI, and especially in the context of industries.
Sir, with your impressive track record of leadership in technology and digital transformation, one can't help but wonder as you continue to shape the future of industries and push the boundaries of innovation, what is the next thing on the horizon for you? I mean, what are your future aspirations, not just for your career, but the broader impact you hope to have on the world of technology and business? And how do you see your role evolving in this ever changing landscape?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I would put it as saying that uh, the role that I have it in ABB, as well as the ABB's sole purpose, is fundamental to help the customers, the industries, to outrun. What we mean is outrun is outperform and leaner and cleaner. Leaner means that we want to be more productive and efficient. We want them to also make it cleaner, meaning sustainable. So the big next thing, which is already in today is a mandate also, and it's a license to operate, is sustainability, right? How are we going to make the world more sustainable in terms of the energy, carbon footprint reduction, making it net zero by energy and emissions and circularity? That's going to be a fundamental theme in what we do. And a lot of things that we do will be revolving to that. At the same time, it's very important that we don't only look at one axis, right? There are three axes. One axis is the sustainability, other axis is the profitability of the organization, and third is really the productivity and efficiency. So you need to keep all the three unbalanced and optimized ensuring that we achieve all the target. Because if you just look at only one, you will possibly not even exist for the next decade, right? So it's very
Yeah.
important for us to balance all the three. I would say all the technologies, all the innovations, including AI, digital, and connectivity, and 5Gs, whatnot, all that is going to really help on achieving this combined objectives of sustainability, efficiency, as well as the reliability, right? That's what really is critical. The next big thing for me is in terms of technologies across the layers. That's the beauty of digital and AI. It is not only in certain area of technology, but technologies across the layer, which is going to make this achieving, right? Uh, we will talk about the whole energy transition is one of the clear area, right? It's tons of technology starting from the basic chemistry. You're talking about how do you make a hydrogen as your primary fuel to looking at how do you really optimize your grid using the most advanced AI. We have been doing it for many customers today on energy management using AI as an example. So the big thing for me is how do you really bring the AI value of AI embedded into the core engineering? We call as that for the energy, for assets, for operations and processes. The second area I would say is that how do you really make it economics of scale? And it's needed by new technologies such as quantum computing, because today's computing power you will reach certain saturation and your data centers will not be good enough. Your cloud is not good enough with the data and AI that you need to apply. So you need to really bring a disruptive innovation, which is going to be a quantum computing coming in. And of course, I will put it as the third element is making completely a new era of experience. The people would like to experience differently the way that they want to consume data as well as react. This three is going to be I would say that totally a new era that we'll see it. The shift is going to be across the layers, as I said, but will be driven still by the three goals of sustainability, efficiency, as well as reliability. Right?
So, ESG has become a critical focus for businesses across industry. From your perspective, how do you see the role of ESG principles evolving in the future, and why do you think they are important for business leaders today?
I mean, I would say that ESG is a core to the way that organizations are going to bring value to the society. And we, as an organization, for industries, are supposed to bring the value for the society and our economics. And ESG is critical because both from an aspect of safety, environment, as well as sustainability, and bringing also the governance, which is super critical in this world. And the complexities that you have it in terms of the interdependencies across the value chain from, you can call us like scope one, scope two, scope three. It's all super important for you to work on a framework and principles as well as the policies that are defined that is going to make us to work more effectively, more responsibly, and bringing a sustainable future, right? And for us in ABB, we have four things as a license to operate. First is safety for us. Second is sustainability. And third is the cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is super important for you to keep your system. We working on some of the mission critical infrastructure systems we support. And fourth is actually the people sustainability. It's all the four are very critical for us.
Yeah.
And you know that as a corporate as well as as the CXOs, for us, as much as the business financial targets are important, we need to also look at ESG and the sustainability targets. And I'm really glad that we are looking at both now. We are reporting both, we are working on both same time. And ESG has been there for quite long time. But the new dimension of relating that as a core value of an organization now, I'm pretty proud of that. That's going to make a big difference.
I think, and it was also about time, I guess, that we do go hand in hand with both the things, right? So, you've recently enrolled in Directors Institute. How has your experience been so far, and how do you think the courses are enhancing your professional journey?
I would say I love it, right? I was looking for a forum in which there is a way that we are able to network with the experts, but also learn certain basics principles, though we have been practicing it for years, to learn it in a structured way. You possibly saw me that I'm a structured learner.
Yeah.
So I did my engineering masters, then MBA and doctorate and two doctorates. I always love to do a structured learning along with my practicing. And for me, the Director Institute has been one of the best I have seen it. I have been looking at different platforms. This has been the best I saw, where it brings the right amount of focus to what is needed, and also the flexibility of how you want to do it. And for me, this has been helping in terms of chiseling myself, in terms of structuring the learning of what it makes a full-fledged director with the knowledge deep rooted, whether you talked about ESG as an example, or digital transformation, or corporate governance. These things I've been doing it. I've been in the board for many years in different companies, both on the listed company boards as well as advisory boards. But Director Institute for me is one of the right way of looking at what I have been practicing is perfect, or where I should be really making myself perfect, right? That has been possibly the biggest value. And I guess I've been enjoying the course as well as the networking that is provided by Director Institute today.
So that was honestly an incredible conversation. So thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights, experiences, and the wisdom you've gathered throughout your remarkable career. Your journey in transforming the tech and digital landscape is nothing short of inspiring, and it was a pleasure having you with us today. And yes, thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much for your time as well as for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.